And so let me know in the comment section, is this guy getting first, second, or third? I don't want to read any comments about fourth or fifth place. None of this nonsense. Which spot in the top 3 is Samson Dauda going to get? Coach Greg, in today's video, the most underrated bodybuilder in the world right now, Samson Dauda. Looking back at his physique in 2018, it's hard to imagine he would ever look the way he does right now. And so in talking about Samson Dauda, only 2 short years ago, this is what people were saying. Most improved? No. But he's come quite a long way, and I'm hoping he can make it to the Olympia eventually. Needs to watch his stomach waist though. And so they were doing this in comparison to Nick Walker. Love Samson, his posing routine was amazing and he's very aesthetic, but have you seen how Nick Walker looked in 2018? The dude gained like 1/3 of his body mass. And so if you compare Samson Dauda's social media following to any other of the top Olympia competitors, you can see he's very underrated. He's still under the radar, only, as I say this right now, 432,000 followers. That is not a lot. In comparison, Hadi Choopan, over 5 million followers. With Nick Walker at 1.4 million followers and Derik Lundsford approaching 1,930,000. But why? And how could he still be under the radar? The guy went from being outside the top 5 at the Mr. Olympia to winning the Arnold Classic. And so it's my not so humble opinion that anything outside the top 3 for Samson Dauda should be considered an upset. Yeah, I get it. He never made the top 3 last year and Nick Walker beat him. But having already defeated Nick Walker at the Arnold Classic, I truly believe that Samson Dauda is far superior a bodybuilder. Nick Walker has the mass, the size, and the shreds, but does not have the height and the amazing aesthetics, the symmetry of Samson Dauda. Samson's physique is so amazing, so outstanding at only 31 years of age. He's only now getting into his prime. That he has the potential to be the next Ronnie Coleman. At 5'11", 320 plus pounds in the offseason and approaching 300 pounds on stage, the guy is a sheer mass monster, but with the aesthetics of a classic physique bodybuilder. And from the front, I do believe it will be lights out for Samson Dauda. Clearly going to be the victor. The best X-frame, the most amount of muscle, and if he can come in shredded, truly peeled, no one is beating him from the front. But he still has one weakness, and only one that I can see. His back. The back needs more mass, more width, more detail. And so in comparison, Derik Lundsford and Hadi Choopan, their strengths are in fact their backs. I do still think that Samson Dauda is going to come in 3rd position at this year's Olympia. But if the guy puts on more mass on his back, and he makes the same kind of changes he did at the Arnold Classic that he does at this Olympia, look for him to potentially dethrone both Derik and Hadi Choopan. And if he does, I don't think anyone's ever going to beat him. I think he's going to be the champion for years. Perhaps the next Ronnie Coleman. Could he in fact win every single year up to the age of 40? He has the potential and only time will tell. We have a week before we can find out. But if he has the back to match everything else, I don't know how anyone can keep up with him. Ronnie Coleman, in comparison to Samson, the difference was that ridiculous back. Once Ronnie turned around, it was lights out. He had the most craziest back of all time. The difference is Samson has a much more pleasing waistline. Smaller waist, better abdominals, and so he gives him a much more aesthetic appearance. Even if he doesn't have the back of Ronnie, I don't think it'll matter. He simply needs some improvement. He doesn't need 20 pounds of muscle in his back. He just needs some. He needs to show improvement. If he can hang with the other guys from the rear, he's most certainly dominating them from the front. And so look at the changes he's made. Look at the thighs, the quads, the detail. Wide shoulder, small waist, abdominals. Unbelievable. Front double bicep, no one's beating that pose. Look at how small his waist is. His thighs literally bigger than his stomach. the lat spread, the wide shoulders, the small waist, the thighs. No one is beating him in these poses. And from the side, what a crazy twisting back double bicep pose. Nice posing. Side chest, dropped hamstrings, detail in the quads. Great side chest. Imagine this with even more mass. Imagine even more size, and he can do it. And from the rear, hamstrings, look at the detail. Look at the mass from the rear. The small waist, and setting up for the rear lat spread, the Christmas tree. And here's the lat spread, and this is where he needs more mass. If he could have more size in his back, it would be game over. That is his only flaw, his only weakness. Back to the side, elegant posing, setting up for the side tricep pose. And imagine this, he can still come in leaner. There could be more detail in the side delt, actually in the tricep as well. Imagine this with even more detail and more size. And he's only recently come into this mass. I personally believe that in his younger days, he didn't take bodybuilding all that serious. He was doing this based on his genetics, his God-given, amazing, ridiculous genetics. And in the last couple of years said, I really want to go with this. I'm going to perhaps start taking more supplements, as I never really wanted to push it back in those days. But now I'm all in. I want to win. And so with his newfound attitude, with a winning approach mentality, I do believe he has the chance to win this year's Mr. Olympia. I still think Derik Lundsford is going to come out on top. I feel he's made so many improvements from last year to this year that he still should be favored to win. Hadi Choopan versus Samson Dauda. That is a battle I can't wait to see. And so Samson has been making videos on YouTube. People are starting to watch. They're only now beginning to really get into this guy. And so I highly encourage him, go and give him a follow. He's not even at 100,000 followers. Have to at least get him there. I mean, look at this guy doing the side laterals. Have you ever seen anything like that in your life? Side laterals, the tiniest of waist. He's using cables, and all you see is muscles popping out from under his tank top. And speaking of tank tops, wouldn't you want to wear one of these? You're looking for an amazing tank top. Look no further than Harder Than Last Time. We have amazing clothing, tank tops, t-shirts, jogging pants, shorts, hoodies. We got it all. And of course, you all know the amazing cookbook, as well as Harder Than Last Time supplements, pre-workouts, protein bars, GO2 Max, 3 tests, so many supplements in here. I can't even find them all. Head over to my website. Remember, code Greg, 10% off. And if you don't know how to diet and train, remember, close to a 50-page free diet and training program, all on my website. Just head over right now. And so let me know in the comment section, is this guy getting first, second, or third? I don't want to read any comments about 4th or 5th place. None of this nonsense. Which spot in the top 3 is Samson Dauda going to get? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to like the video if you did like it. Watch one of those 2 bloops. And until next time, I am out.